Hello, fellow map makers. Welcome to another live map making session. Hope you're all doing fine and enjoying the weather, at least if it's as nice as here in Germany today. Been wonderful sunshine and quite warm temperatures today, so spring is really knocking on the door here. All right, I hope the sound is good. Yes, Sue just posted that. Thank you very much. And I see a few people are in the chat already. So let's get going. I'm Ralf Schermann of Fantasy Software, and I'm here to show you a little bit more of Campaign Cartographer tonight. Another mapping style from the Cartographer's Annual. And we'll do a little map with that and show off some of the features and talk about some of the shortcomings of the style and perhaps try to fix a few things or to update a few things. It's an older style now, and see what we can come up with. If you have any questions during the session, do post them in the chat. We'll be happy to respond, and I'll try to show stuff on screen when possible. Apparently I'm a little bit quiet. My sound meter seems to be good, so I'm not sure what's different than usual. I'll try to speak up. Just noticed my voice is a little bit affected. I don't know. I've not had any cold or anything, so since I've not been talking much all day, it's a bit of a surprise here that the voice isn't quite as strong as usually. All right, so if you like the chat, do give us a thumbs up and perhaps subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon to get notifications. All right, so the cat is here, and so we are good to go. The little style we have today is the Black and Fantasy style by Lindström from the Cartographer's Annual. It's a few years back now. Not entirely sure when, right? I would have to look that up, but doesn't matter that much. And it's hand-drawn symbols, fairly simple to assemble and draw with, and very suitable to local and regional maps at a small scale, because it gets fairly how to say that it's hard to distinguish the symbols if you've got too many of them on the map. So it's nicer if you've just got a few and can appreciate the beauty of the little hand-drawn details in the symbols. So to start with, I'm going to go up to the new map icon, click that, save my changes, and then I'm in the overland maps type, of course, and here we are with the style. As you can see, the metric and the imperial version, and you can also perhaps see from the little title here that there's a special letter, an A with a little circle on top, indicating Per's country of origin. He's from Sweden, and Hitchhiker's Guide. Okay, I know the Hitchhiker's Guide, of course, but I got the request that I should do more Hitchhiker's Guide. I'm not entirely sure what I can do. I can get a towel, of course, but it's not far away ever. So let me know what I should do in the course of a Hitchhiker's Guide. Ah, I see now. Slutty Bartfast. So you want more fjords. That would be very suitable to the author of this map, of course. So let's see what we can do. All right, so let's click next. And here we'll set the size of our map, and I'll specifically do something a little bit smaller because we are doing a regional map. So let's do just 250 by 200 miles. And we can also see whether we've got anything here. Well, let's do the things on the cartouches and map title on the map right away. So we'll put the copyright notice in the right corner. For that, I've got the copyright notice here. That's the text that's going to go in that notice, and I'm just going to update this to 2025. On the bottom left, I'll put the scale bar, and the top right, I'm going to put the compass rose, and on the top left, our map title. And here we can put in the map title. So let's call our map the Northern Fjords. Click Finish, and then we're going to save the map under Videos, Fantasy Streams. We're getting close to 200 streams here. Alright, and as you can see, if you put in the map title, Campaign Cartographer will suggest that title as the file name as well, so no need to change anything there, and we're gonna save the map under that name. There we are, and here we have got all the things on the map that we wanted, so I can perhaps already change a little bit of that. One thing with the map title and thing, it doesn't put a text in there as such, but a symbol with a text attribute, which means that you can't edit this text as you would normally edit a text. Say, if you go edit text, do it. That doesn't work on this. The easiest thing is to either just, if you want to change the title, delete that and put a new text. Otherwise, you could also delete the symbol and just put the map title again and then put in a new name. But if you're happy with the name here, I just want it a little bit larger, so I'm going to use the move command on the title, select our insertion point, and then you can use the Control and Shift keys to scale and rotate the text as you move it around. That's why I chose the move command, because I also needed to adjust the location a little bit. And I'm going to turn off snap here. That's one little thing that should be in the template. Has set the snap by default, which is really not necessary, but it's a minor thing. And then I'm going to update the title a little bit until I've got the size I want. And there it goes. Also, I'm going to move the copyright a bit. Size is fine, but I do want it more in the lower right corner. And then I'm gonna move the compass rose down here above the scale bar. We only got a 20 miles scale bar in here. That's fairly small, so I'm tempted to, let's show you how to update this. I can't edit the text in this because it's a symbol with a text attribute, but I can just erase this compass rose. Oh, actually what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use extract properties. That way I'm sure my new oh no, merge layer should not be what it's going on. Let's have a quick look here. Extract properties, click on the symbol. That's not, don't want anything on the, it is on the merge layer. Okay, should probably double check that. It's a good opportunity to actually change this. And I'm gonna put it on the text labels sheet, or I'm going to do a new layer for that. I'm going to do a cartouche layer. Here we go. And now I'm going to erase that symbol, and I'm going to replace it from the symbols within the drawing tool. Click that. See, this way I get the same size. If I right click, I see that's my default scale here. 0.25. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this 0.5 instead. Then my scale bar is quite a bit larger. And I know by default the scale bars are 100 miles. So half the size will be 50 miles. And then when I place it, I can put in the 50 here. And now I have a scale bar that's a bit more fitting in size to my compass rose, which I put above. And I like this a bit better. All right, so far for all this stuff. That's not the actual map itself. Now for the coastline. So let's do some nice fjords. I'm going to click the default landmass icon and I'm gonna draw some bays and capes. Here we go. Nice little narrow strips of water. And then I'm just going to draw beyond the map border to attach the coastline there. Click there, right click to finish. And there's my coastline. I think we can also turn on sheet effects already. In this older template, the effects are off by default. I never changed that, so the effects are on. Every time I load the map, I click the display speed setting and check effects are on when loaded. Alright, so now I do want some more islands. So I'm gonna do that with the same landmass tool. Add them here. A little bit of land. Oh, that's there's what's happened there. You see this strange thing there. If I do a refresh, it's going to be hidden, but one spike extrudes into the map. That's where two nodes are close together, and the white coastline basically is the distance between the nodes is smaller than the width of the line, and then we get these strange artifacts. I can just edit the existing one and redraw that, and that will usually just get rid of that thing. Simplify, as Sue mentions, also a possibility, but with a single occurrence here, it's often quite easier just to redo a section of the coastline while you're in the landmass tool. Here we go. Yeah, I want a little bit more. See, I'm doing my best to be a worthy student of Slati Bartfast. At least a early apprentice of his. Go. And now I'm thinking I also want some long lakes in here. So let's see whether we do have a nice lakes tool or whether we need some adjustments. If I click on the rivers, yeah, the lakes in the style are set very simply with just some black polygons, but I do want something more larger to indicate that's similar to these long fjords, or basically parts of those long fjords. So what I'll need is a drawing tool to draw that. I don't have a C drawing tool for that either, so we'll set up something and we'll make use of the color key function, which we didn't use much back in the day when this style was created yet. So what we're going to do is we are gonna use the land default tool, create a copy of that by clicking new, and we'll not call it land default but C default. So we're basically drawing saltwater or seawater lakes with this tool. And we'll keep the outline. It's going to be on the same coastline, but we do need to change the properties. I'm not going to change much. I'm just going to change the color to our usual color key color 6. And now I'm save settings. I'm going to draw this here. See, this is what I wanted to add. Long narrow valley filled with water. Same again here. A bit from this section here. One section here. See, now we've got these strange magenta pieces on the map, and what we're going to do, we're going to add a color key effect. Add color key. That's our magenta color, the default. We need to move it up. It's going to be the first in the list. And now the color key will punch a hole in the land polygon where it finds magenta color. And that's as if we had drawn sea there. And we've got these nice lakes on the map. All right. I'm already seeing that the title here is probably not on the text sheet. No, it's on the cartouche sheet. That's why it's not outlined like other text will be on the map. And we could, of course, apply the glow effect that's on the text sheet to the cartouche effect sheet as well, but I don't really want it here on the ones on the sea. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to use move to sheet and simply put this on the text sheet. Give it a refresh. I see we've got a white outline on that text now. Alright, so that was that. So now let's add some mountains. So we're gonna grab just make sure to load the correct layer and everything, and our default colors, though they'll not be visible because these are bitmap symbols in black and white. And we've got the mountains here that we can now use to build some mountain ranges. Fairly similar mountains, but all randomized for the selection. So each time I click the symbol, I get a random one from the selection, and you can see the symbols are already large for an overland style at the default scale, and that's because it's meant for small scale regional maps, and the symbols don't work as well if they're very small. So this is the default size for the symbols, and we don't need to make any adjustments. And then I'm just going to start here on the edge of the map and build a fairly simple mountain range. Not too many symbols, not too much overlap. So just a few symbols are enough to depict a mountain range. There we go. And then we might also add some hills already, or I could put in a... Actually, what I want to do is I want to put in a special mountain with a cave, and I don't want to put it to the side. It should be inside here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase one symbol first. Erase tool, select D for do it. Grab the mountain with the cave. Put it in the roughly same location, and then sort all symbols. Sort symbols and map. Right click all, D for do it, and now the mountain is nicely sorted. Well, I don't quite like these little overlaps here. I'm going to move it around a little bit. Do it. And that's better. All right. Good. So next up, I'm going to do some rivers. So I'm going to click the river tool or right click the river tool to see the different options. We've got large rivers, small, medium. Well, let's try a default river, simple. And let's zoom in a bit. And I'm just going to connect this coast here with the lake. Same up here. And then I'm going to extend this beyond the map border here. Going to do the same here. And then I'm going to use the smaller rivers to make some tributaries. No, that's not. I didn't want. I'm using the wrong modifier there. Sorry. I'm continuing to click F5 for the endpoint, which will take me to the end of the line. I do want F9 for the on modifier. Now I've got it right there, and you can see it's going to be nice behind the mountains. So that's good. Same here. Some good rivers on the map, and I do need a little bit. I have a river run down this direction into this lake, and then use a larger river, the default river again, for the connection here. There we are, and perhaps there we go. And there I didn't quite hit the coastline, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the move node command, click on the endpoint here, and just move it on the edge of the lake. Alright, one thing I'm forgetting is, or I forgot, is doing a bit of an outline of the coast. We do have the nice default sea contour here, and I'm just going to use that to outline the coast a little bit. It's just a wavy texture. It shows the coastal waters. I've got a question there from Andrew, how the map would have, the style would have looked without the color key. I'll show you how the default lakes tool looks in a sec. There's of course another way, but this is a bit more setup to do this from the color key. We're just going to go all the way around, and the advantage is that the texture does show up within the lakes right away as well, because they are basically holes punched into the landmass. So the other option to do the tools would be to use the lake here, and then they would just look like black blobs like this, basically like the rivers. Just larger, and don't think that works as nicely. It works for smaller ponds, for small lakes, but not for larger ones like this. So I wanted to add this tool to the style to make use of that. All right, very nice. So let's add some. Should we do the river, the forest first? Yes, let's do the forests. Okay, here we've got the forest tools, but we can also just click the vegetation catalog and see the drawing tools are linked from there in here as well. So let's have a quick look. So I'm thinking this is probably more pine forest than anything else, from a northern Scandinavian type coastline. Oh, that's actually not the tool, but the symbol for forest. I want to grab the drawing tool here, the forest pine tool, outline the area I want my forest to go. But probably because the symbols are so large, we don't want to do much. Yeah, and actually I'm thinking, the offset here is a bit weird. That's something I should look at. I don't remember the offset of the symbols being strong from the polygon used to draw the outline. Let's do a quick check whether the first tool is similar. Yeah, not quite as strong, but still a little bit. Not so happy about that. Let's see whether we can do a quick fix to that, whether I can show you how to change that. So this will have a, let's have a look at the drawing tool. How do the forests get drawn? Basically with a symbol which is called by, with a command which is caused by a, okay, I've got another request which might work quite well with this. The first asks how to set up a drawing tool for a sparsely filled forest. Well, we'll have a look. So first off, let's have a look at the pine forest tool here and the command to execute. And you can see it does load the forest setting from filler CA121 pine forest fill. So let's quickly draw a bit of that. And see, we do have, it should be more to the left and down really. And if we, the tools for that, that's the fill with symbols tool. And it's already, because I used the drawing tool last, it's loaded up in here. And here's our, basically it loads a symbol catalog which has these symbols, and these will be assembled in the pattern to create the forest. And this is the offset here. So want to have a quick look whether we can make this smaller. Say we reduce the offset to 3 and this to 20. And save this as the pine forest setting. Close this, erase this tool here, and draw, oops, no, the drawing tool, forest, pine forest, there we are. No, that didn't work. Might have been actually, it might be the other way around. Might do need to increase the, let's give it one more try. If not, we're going to hand draw the forest, or I'll set up the drawing tool for a different way to draw forests. So I'm going to go into the fill with symbols again. Oh, actually it didn't save this at all. That's weird. See what happens if we do 7.545. Actually, what I should do, I should simply, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a bit of the pine forest drawing tool first pine. Here we go, and I'm going to erase the trees, and I'm just going to keep this as my forest so I can reuse this. And now I'm going to draw, fill with symbols, and set my 7.545 here again. Run now. Now I can select this, do it, and no, that's more. Let's try again. This time the setting stuck, so let's do 2.515 instead. Run now. Okay, that's looking much better in the Y direction. So let's do this smaller still. Run now. No, that's not quite. Oh, actually, this is we need the offset here less. Not quite happy with that yet. Oops. See whether that works. Yeah, now we're getting further to the left there. So let's try it with -10. And now, yeah, and that's much better. So not sure how the setting is so different from back then. Perhaps some update was done through the tool. In the meantime, I just need to save these settings here. Draw, fill the symbols, and save this. And save this with the same name. Replace my previous setting. Close. And now we're going to try the drawing tool again. Yes, much happier now. That looks better. All right, so much for that. But we might also want a tool that just fills a area with symbols. And for that, we do need a little bit of different command, because the first command that we just used will always completely fill an area. What we do need instead is the symbols in area command. And here we can see that. And for that, we do need load the catalog we want to use. And we are in the annual, oops, I saw it there, Black and White Fantasy, vegetation catalog. And we do want to use the pine trees here. We do have these 2 pine trees in the set. And then we need, with the chance to place, basically here we set the density. So let's make it just 20% perhaps to start with. We're going to also do a bit of trial and error here. It's always hard to predict how exactly this will look. We don't want to scale randomize the scale. Minimum distance, let's say 5 perhaps. Oh, let's do it. Start a bit smaller. 2 minimum distance. Here you can set the size difference between the center and the edge, but we do want these trees all to be the same, so 100% is fine. Layout pattern should be random. Yes, we want to have them auto-sorted. I'm going to use default here, and this is the general distance of how large these symbols are supposed to be. I've got no real idea here what I do need. I would need to know the extension of this. We're just going to try it with these settings here. And also important, allow random symbol selection, so it does pick randomly from these 2 pine symbols. Let's just going to click OK, right click, do it, and there we've got scattered symbols. So that's already looking quite a nice replacement for our forest there. So to make this sparser, we basically have 2 options. We can make the distance a bit larger, or the minimum distance a bit. So let's say if we set 4 minimum distance, see, it's already getting quite a bit sparser. We can of course also do stuff like setting just a 10% chance to place a symbol for each spot. Oh, that looks like nice randomized wood. And so let's use this setting. And for that, we are gonna save these settings here, draw symbols in area. We've got everything set up like we had, and we're gonna save this as a CC Plus in the system folder, and then fillers. And I'm gonna go in the annual subfolder here, even though the original wasn't. And then we're going to give it a name. I'm going to add the number of the symbol style on a 21. woods. Okay, I'll actually put a underscore in here. I'm going to copy this, and you can note here this extension for that type of command is simfill. All right, so much for that. We're going to cancel, and now we need to set up the tool for that. So I'm going to go in the all map drawing tools, click advanced, and I'm already in my forest pine, and I'm going to click a new one and do wood pine. And for the basic shape, the background, I'll keep everything as it is, and command execute, I just need to put the new setting in there. Oops, there's an extra. Okay, and for that I do need to, what I can do, I can check the text equivalent of the command. So if I say symbols in area, okay, right click and execute the command, then you can see that the command I used was simfill. And I could put that in the macro. But the easier thing to usually do is just to copy something from from another drawing style that does use that already. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So I'm going to click an advanced here and then choose a different drawing style from the drop-down menu here. And we can use the Mike Schley, Overland Mike Schley. We should have some woods in there. See where there we've got the forest tools, and there's the woodlands tools, which use this tool. Similar like scattered type of wood. Gonna click in the command to execute, and then I'm see how this is set up. There you can see the command simfill M. M is for the macro version, so you don't get the dialog. Instead, you jump directly to the execution of the command. I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to go back to my annual black and white fantasy. If I can find it, there we are. Go to my wood pine, command to execute, and save this. Didn't the command did not take. Let's try that again. Don't know why it didn't. Whether the copy didn't work. So Overland actually my terrain woodlands. Let's do check the pine. Command to execute. Here we are again. Copy. Okay. Back to annual black and white fantasy. Command to execute. There we are. Okay, this time it worked. And then we just need to add the name we gave, and that was do you remember what I gave? Was the woods pine? I think it was woods pine, but I'm not entirely sure. I've got to double check. So let's see whether this gives an error, and seems to work. But we can double check symbols in area and the load command fill as annual. Let's change by, and oh no, it was just woods was the name. So we're just gonna grab this, and the command just worked because it used the already selected settings. So let's fix our macro. Oh, that's the command didn't take. I didn't save the drawing tool, didn't I? That's annoying. Yeah, I didn't save the drawing tool, or did I perhaps save it here? I don't think so. No. All right, sorry about that. I got to redo that. So let's see whether I can remember. So the command to load the setting was symbol fill load. And this is going to be Phil's annual 21 woods, new woods, simfill dot simfill. And the command to execute was simfill m. Let's just try it here. Seems to be working. All right, great. Got that. One thing we don't have is a preview for the drawing tool. If you'll notice that on this is just blank, the draw tool. That's because for these macro drawing tools, we need a little preview map of the same name in the same folder. I'm not going to set this up here. We're going to just work with the name. That's going to be fine. But basically what you can do, you can make a copy of the one that's for the forest drawing tools in there, replace those and change the look a little bit to show you how the drawing tool is supposed to work. Okay, so I'm going to use this new drawing tool to add some woodland fill here to some spaces on the map. There we go. Oh, I'm really not very good here in saving my work. This is the old forest drawing tool. I'm pretty sure about that. Sorry about that. That's just me being... Yeah, didn't save the drawing tool. I should really do this. Simfill load. Annual. Woods. Simfill. Simfill M. Okay. Save the drawing tool. Here we go. It doesn't have the warning about losing your work because you haven't saved that. That's a bit of the downside. And there we are. That's how it's supposed to look. Very good. Oh yeah. I've got a sparse woods drawing tool. And let's have a quick look here on the sheet. It's the forest sheet where the background thing is on. I'm thinking this might actually have a little bit of a more... Yeah, it doesn't have any sheet effects on it as such. That's because it's in the default style, it's pretty much hidden behind the forest symbols, but it's much more visible here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a sheet effect and make an edge fade. Actually, an inner edge fade. Edge fade inner. And we can make the transition fairly large, say 10 units, and we can also make the inner opacity just 10%. We don't need much of that look, but a little bit of darkness there might be nice. Let's have a quick... Oh, it's hardly visible anymore. So make this a bit larger and this smaller. There we are. Make this 3, just a little bit darker. Yeah, that's how I like it. Okay. And there we've got a bit of background to the symbols. And we can also go in here and just grab the pine trees like that. And those, they work together with the other pine trees from the tool. Grab the individual ones and build a little bit more pine forest. And this way we get very nice looking forests. These symbols here are actually It's a style where the symbols don't go on their separate sheets. That means you can more easily interface them with mountains here. If I do an sort symbols and map, all of them do it. You'll see that this tree is nicely behind the mountain. Means you have to be a bit more careful sometimes because this pine symbols are so much smaller than the mountains. The overlaps can be a bit weird sometimes, but we shouldn't be filling this too much with symbols anyway. The black and white style does look good if you've got some space around the symbols. We've got our forests, and now let's go to the structure symbols and place down some cities and other symbols. So let's put this here. I can build a nice bridge. I do want the bridge in the other direction, but unlike in other styles, I don't have it in different versions available. But what I can do is I can right click and click mirror and just have the bridge go the other direction this way. Set to normal. Place a town here. Village up here. Some huts. Also, again, just one city symbol, but if we want to a little bit of variety, we can mirror this one and place a city symbol up here. Another bridge. Town symbol, another village. Go. Let's put in a castle. Set this back to normal. Let's put a nice big castle here. And we do have a nice dwarf symbols, something fairly rare in our symbol sets, because basically you just pick a mountain and put something on it. So I'm thinking this would be nice to have on the map. And where do I want my dwarf gate? Here. Let's do a little symbol sword. There, very nice. Evil tower on an island, sounds good. So let's grab the evil castle and put this nice here on this island. Probably need some volcanoes in the vicinity. I might put one on that other island there. We've got an evil looking monument which we could also add. Oops, that was... Let's put this here. And we've got some ruins. There we go. A graveyard. Oh, multiple different graveyards even. Very nice. There we go. So we might want to look at a road. Okay, so how are these set up? They might be just white, that's why we don't see them as such, or they might have a line style that's not quite... Well, let's have a quick look. Let's use a default road. Properties. So now it's just white and road line style. Okay. See whether this actually works on this style, or do we need to update this. So let's have a look here. As Sue says, there might be a dark glow on the street. Yes, on the sheet. But white on white the glow will not work. That's not. Let's change color of that. It's also a. And just make this a bit darker. Yeah, and then you, once it's different from the land background, then you do get the effect. But the that's one of the problems with the user with line styles. It does use a line style, but the line style is scaled to the default map size, and line styles unfortunately don't scale with map size. So we do need to do the scaling ourselves, but it's easy enough. We use extract properties, use that on the road. Go to line style roads, edit the road style and use the pattern length and multiply it with the same scale we have from a default size. So our default map size is 1000 miles width. We do have a 250 miles width map, so let's make the pattern length fourth, 2.5, and then we do get the look that we want from the default style. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to update the tool color. So we do get them to be visible. So it's possible that in the original style we used a lot of textures on the land background, and therefore that this problem didn't crop up. I'm gonna add a bit more of the road drawing tool here. And there we get our roads. Might also want a little bit of road going off in this direction. There we are. And I wanted to add some textures I was just mentioning. For example, a farmland texture. And we can just do this here and trace the coastline. There we get our farmland texture. And yeah, you can see that's this probably what happened, that on this background the road would be much more visible. But I'm not so happy about this here actually. It's a bit too much. I want to make this smaller. Farmland. I don't want to be as the background to the mountains. So I'm going to trace this again to here, but then follow the coastline more and set the texture up this way. Yeah, that's better. And I can also add a bit of desert perhaps around here. It looks good. And I certainly do want a few more trees around. For example, deciduous trees in the lowlands. Forest here. And more pine trees up north. The mountains. There we are. And then I was talking about volcano. We do have some volcano symbols. Oh, they're just a little bit large for our island here. So let's make this a little bit smaller. Nice. Symbols, sort symbols, map. All of them. There we are. The only thing would need a few more labels. I might actually move the title around a little bit more. It's a bit too close. Oops. To the map edge there for my taste. This font has a strange property of just looking a bit different when I pick it up. So if I see Press it here. Oh no, it was just the scaling. I was on at the zoom scale where the true type form behaved a little bit strangely. That's probably the reason I saw it jump there. All right, and let's have a quick look at the labeling. So let's. The symbols use a lot of black, and we will get some overlap issues with our outline glows if you use the exact same color for the text. That's why I'm picking a very dark gray instead of straight black for the text. I'm still going to the text label layer. Let's say I call this Bjerregaard Castle. Just the direction, and then the alignment. Where do I want to put my text? Always best to put it in not too busy places. There we go. See the glow. Setting this off nicely here. And also, if for the forests, we have an option to do a light. For the same reason, I'm using not a straight white, but a little gray. And I'm going to put this on the text forests sheet here. Wolfenforst. Mid-center, put it here, and you can see the black outline nicely separates from the trees. And there we are. I could add a few more text pieces, but the time is almost up, and it's gonna not show you anything new. But otherwise, I think the map is nice. Oh, one little thing, I do want to change the copyright text also to the text sheet. Because not this texture here. To give it an outline. There we are. That works good. And we are good to go. Just thinking the style might actually also work quite nicely with Pear's sea monster symbols. I'm just not sure we do have them in black and white. Let me have a quick look. We do have the here be monsters style. There we are. And see what we've got. At least we've got, because they are drawn by his pair as well. I just might do this as white. Have a quick look with the symbols work with this. I just love his sea monsters. They're so nice. This one I was looking for. It's just a little bit large. Oh, not too bad. Actually works quite nicely with the style. The map here is a bit too large, too small. The space is not there to add nice symbols, but you can see you can pick up the pair symbols from a different style just as well and use these on this map. If you use the black and white Grimo style. Excellent. And there we are. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed our little session tonight. And if you've got any questions to the map, you can also always still ask questions in the forum thread or the announcement on Facebook. We'll see those in time and answer. The one thing I'm not checking much anymore after the session is over is the YouTube comments. So that's not a good point, good place to ask anything about the map, go to the forum or the Facebook group, and that will be much more accessible to us. Thank you very much. I'll also share the map on the forum tomorrow, so you can pick that up there if you want to. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe to the channel and the ring. If you like it, give us a like and subscribe, as they say. And see you again next week. All the best. Bye-bye.